Democrats just can't stand President Donald Trump. And they also can't stand, period, apparently, especially when Donald Trump is speaking to a joint session of Congress, as he did last night. And early in the speech, President Trump pointed out how the Democrats, no matter how good the news is, no matter what policies he's announcing, the Democrats, in their hate-filled angst, just refuse to acknowledge anything good whatsoever, simply because it's coming from President Donald Trump.
This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
And you'll notice none of them are standing for him saying it's very sad it shouldn't be this way, proving his point, basically. But wait, there's more.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Yeah. Donald Trump making a direct plea to the Democrats and saying, look, I know that we disagree. I know this, that, and the other. I know you don't want to stand for me, but let's, for one night, let's just agree that there are policies that are good for America, that the Americans like these policies and want these policies and, in a way, demand these policies. Let's just realize we're all fighting for the same thing. Sometimes we're all on the same team. And why don't you just show a little appreciation, not for me, not for my cabinet, not for those kinds of things, but for the people of this country who put us all in these positions they put us in and who want us to make America great again. And of course, the Democrats are like, nah, we're good. We're good. We're just going to sit here and sit here. That's basically what they did. There was one Democrat, however, who did decide to stand. His name was Al Green, and he's a angry representative from Texas. Al Green, you may remember him from a couple of earlier instances and kerfuffles on the House floor. He's got a cane. He's already brought articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. Gosh, I want to say two or three times, and he recently announced he's going to do it again. Al Green, not only did he stand up, but he started to yell and scream at the president. And he became so angry and so unhinged and so just disjointed and so rude. And I mean, really, it was bordering on pathetic. No, you know what? In fact, I think it actually crossed the border into pathetic. And it was so bad that Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, and I've never actually seen this happen before during a presidential address to a joint session, but Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, had to call in the Sergeant at Arms and have Al Green removed from the chamber.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
I don't know if you could hear it in that clip, but as he was being escorted out of the chamber, some of the Republicans were chanting, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. And he went willingly, which kind of upset me. I wanted him to forcibly removed. I was hoping he'd put up a little bit more of a fight, maybe start kicking and screaming some security. That was my personal preference. And I thought at the beginning of it, while it was disruptive and rude, I thought to myself, oh, this is the tactic that the Democrats are going to take. Periodically, but during the speech, they're going to have some designated member jump up and start yelling and screaming. Al Green's job was to jump up and yell and scream when Donald Trump spoke about the mandate he received from the American people and say, you don't have no mandate. He ain't got no mandate. And I thought that would happen repeatedly. Unfortunately, it was the only time that a Democrat got thrown out. Some walked out, but the walkouts were much less interesting, much more boring. The getting the toss outs, that was really exciting. But Donald Trump wasn't there. Like, he wasn't there to make enemies. He was there to make friends, and he was there to let everybody know, hey, we've only been back in office for a few weeks, but we've already done some really incredible things for the American people. And it was like right on day one. He said, on day one, I came into office and I signed all these executive orders, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we were on the right track. And one of the biggest things he did was secure the border. And man, one of the best lines of the night came when he was talking about how the Democrats failed to do that because they were focused on the wrong issue.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
I mean, he's not wrong. We got a new president and boom, the border's secured. We're down to like 0 border crossings, 200 illegal immigrant encounters in a day. That's down from 3,000 just before Donald Trump took office. So it really is incredible how Donald Trump has been able to accomplish so many things in such little time. The other thing that Donald Trump said he did was he said, look, I declared, you may remember, an energy emergency, and we are going to unleash American energy like it has never been unleashed before. And then, of course, the camera panned to Treasury Secretary Chris Wright.
As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth. And by far, and now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Allow me to correct myself. That's Energy Secretary Chris Wright. I think I called him Treasury Secretary Chris Wright. That is Scott Bessent, of course. All of whom, by the way, were there. And the cabinet walking in. We did a live stream of the entire thing last night, and it was really watching the cabinet walk in and seeing all of the superstars that Donald Trump has assembled in one place: Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, RFK Jr., Chris Wright, Kristi Noem. Who else was there? Josh Turner was there. I mean, everybody that Donald Trump had put together to help fight all of the things that we need to fight, to help right all of the wrongs that the Democrats had wronged over the last 4 years. It was really inspirational and moving, and I got goosebumps more than once during this entire event yesterday evening. But Donald Trump said, look, we're also fighting. Not only are we going to drill, baby, drill and bring down the cost of gas and energy, but we are going to relieve the tax burden on so many Americans, as I promised to do in my campaign.
I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
By the way, the Democrats refuse to stand at no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security for seniors. They refuse to stand for no tax on overtime, which is interesting because this is supposedly the party of the working class, wasn't it? The Democrats at one point, they were the union workers. They were the steel workers. They were the truck drivers. They were the ones representing the blue collar worker through the South. The Democrat Party has now abandoned the working class. They no longer stand when Donald Trump says, I'm going to relieve the tax burden on these people with no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and no tax whatsoever on overtime. You would think that the party of the working man would be thrilled about that. They sat there with their little signs, not clapping, not showing any support for President Donald Trump or any of the workers who are going to benefit from that. Like I said, they just can't stand for President Donald Trump. Donald Trump also said we're going to end weaponization of government. And that, of course, he's already pretty much done with Pam Bondi installed in the Department of Justice and Kash Patel at the FBI. But he wanted to remind everybody this is a real threat that we face in our modern day society. And it's one that we have to continually be vigilant about.
And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
By the way, the Democrats are holding up these little signs that say things like false or lies or anything, but it's not false. It's not a lie. We all witnessed the government censorship. We all witnessed, the Twitter files when they were released. We all witnessed the New York Post article that was suppressed about the Hunter Biden laptop. We all witnessed Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary, get her Twitter account suspended for sharing that article. We all witnessed over and over again how Jen Psaki and the Joe Biden White House Communications Department would reach out directly to social media and either request that they remove certain posts or users, or they would threaten the social media companies if they did not kowtow to their whims and their needs. It was really shocking and disgusting. And the MO of the Democrat Party. And Donald Trump said we've done away with all of that. And of course, the Democrats would not stand. You would think, though, however, that when Donald Trump made a major announcement about the terrorist responsible for the bombing at Abbey Gate in Afghanistan that left 13 American Marines killed, 42 others brutally maimed and always forever changed, you would think that they would stand for that. Capturing a deadly terrorist who killed 13 American men and women, servicemen and women, outside of Abbey Gate in Afghanistan, that did not even move the Democrats to stand up and applaud.
Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Capturing terrorists and bringing them to justice, capturing murderers who destroyed people's lives and killed American fighters abroad, capturing those people, that doesn't bring these Democrats joy whatsoever. They're just going to sit there and pout because they don't like to hear about all of the amazing things that Donald Trump has done. And speaking of capturing people, or speaking of peace, Donald Trump mentioned, of course, the peace in Ukraine and how he is on the brink of ending the war that has been raging on unchecked for years, for over 3 years now. This war has been fought between Ukraine and Russia. And not only did Joe Biden and the Democrats watch it happen, but in many ways, they were the reason that it happened. They continued to fuel the war effort. They did nothing at all to end it. And many of them, as we know, profited from it as well.
I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
That's the first time the Democrats clapped for anything, was sending billions to Ukraine.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Donald Trump calls out Elizabeth Warren, calls her Pocahontas or Focahontas because, well, you know the thing. And later on, the media, and we'll play those clips later on in the day, was not very happy about Donald Trump singling out Elizabeth Warren and calling her Pocahontas. But as you can point out, it was an interesting display by the Democrats. The only time that they cheered for President Donald Trump was when he announced the unending billions of dollars, the unchecked billions, the unaccounted for billions of dollars of American taxpayer dollars that were funneled to Ukraine. That got a standing ovation from a couple of them. Donald Trump said, look, we're gonna end this war right now. And you would think again that they would be happy. They would be happy, but not the case. They're Democrats. They're not happy about anything, or at least they won't be as long as Donald Trump is in the White House.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
President Donald Trump makes an announcement that Ukraine is coming to the table, that Vladimir Zelensky said, we really appreciate what the United States has done, and we are ready to sign the minerals agreement. We're ready to take that one step closer to peace. Vladimir Putin announces that he's ready to end the war as well, and he will come to the table. Donald Trump bringing both sides together to begin to negotiate the end to a war that has been raging on for 3 years, killed thousands and thousands of innocent people, so it cost billions and billions of dollars, and destroyed an entire country. And the Democrats just won't stand for it. They just won't stand for peace. You're trying to end a war, stop the killing, and save money, and we will not stand for that. We will only stand for billions of dollars being endlessly funneled into an unwinnable war where people are dying and corruption runs rampant. That's what the Democrats will stand for, not the other thing. There were a couple of heartfelt moments which really showed, and I understand the politics behind it. I understand not wanting to applaud your opponent's victories. Sure, that may be uncomfortable for a lot of these Dems, these lunatic leftists. But when you have these heartfelt moments of people who've been affected by crime and disease and loss of life, when you have these heartfelt moments and these people that have come here to be singled out by President Donald Trump, you would think that we could all come together as a country and that Democrats and Republicans could stand united. That's not the case. Whether it was Laken Riley's family being in attendance or Corey Compertore's family being in attendance, the Democrats did not want to give any kind of reflection or honor to any of these people that Donald Trump chose to highlight in his speech yesterday. And it was sad for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it makes you realize these Democrats are basically cold, heartless people who only care about themselves and their money. And number two, it was sad for the people in attendance. Like, for example, 13-year-old DJ Daniel. DJ Daniel has been suffering from cancer. He's been battling cancer for 6 years. His dream has always been to be a police officer, and his father has now taken him around the country to various different places to meet with police departments, and he's been made an honorary police officer at several different jurisdictions around the country. And yesterday, President Donald Trump surprised DJ Daniel with the ultimate in law enforcement accomplishments.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
He gets the badge, he gets the little wallet, he gets everything. He gives Sean Curran a big hug. Sean Curran, by the way, You may remember Sean Curran was the guy in the dark shades who was helping Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania during the now famous fight photo. Sean Curran, he's part of one of the most iconic images of all time. And there he was giving a 13-year-old cancer sufferer an honorary membership as a Secret Service agent. And guess who didn't seem to care? The Democrat Party. There was another kid, Jason Hartley, who has lost his father. His father was killed, and his entire lineage, his grandfather, his great-grandfather, his father before him, they all served in the military in some way, shape, or form. They all served their country. And so you can imagine that coming from that kind of pedigree, Jason Hartley, a senior in high school, would also want to follow suit. And it's true. His dream is to be a cadet at West Point. West Point, a very difficult school to get into. It's almost like an Ivy League. He's got a great grade point average. He's an athlete. He's a star student. And Donald Trump gave him incredible news right there live in the chamber of the House of Representatives last night during his speech.
I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
And there's DJ Daniel, the newest member of the Secret Service. They're ready to give him a high five. All in all, it was an A+ speech. It was an A+ vision for the United States of America. It was an A+ vision for where we can go. It was an A+ vision for the new golden age. And it was an A+ oration by one of the greatest presidents who has ever lived and who has accomplished so much in such little time. And the Democrats didn't like it. They sat down, they refused to stand, they got belligerent, and they were thrown out of the chamber, or they just got up and walked out. It doesn't matter, because all anyone's going to remember is that during last night's speech, Donald Trump spoke about the amazing things that they've been able to accomplish for the American people, and the amazing things they will accomplish for the American people in the next 4 years. We have 3 more of those speeches to go, and I imagine each and every one of them will become more and more patriotic, more and more accomplishment-filled, and probably tick off more and more Democrats in the future. There's so much more we have to get to. This speech was 90 minutes, and it was chock full of all kinds of great information. We'll cover more of it in our second daily podcast, Mark Kaye Saves the Republic. If you don't yet subscribe to Mark Kaye Saves the Republic, it's really easy to find. Go to your podcast platform of choice, type in Mark Kaye Saves the Republic, download, listen, and enjoy.